I've got a breakout for you.
Have you got a breakout?
I'll give you one because we're going to name 5.
Yeah.
Dan Curtin
Okay.
from Adelaide.
What do you like about Dan and his potential to break out?
They've pushed him to the half-back line. I think he's gonna have a big year, Daniel Curtin. So there's one.
Okay, I'll give you one. I like the
Give me one to the break, and then we'll fill in the other.
Okay,
4.
I think Tom Brown from Richmond is going to have a breakout.
Oh, I like it. He nearly broke out last year.
Yeah, I really, really like the look of this kid, and maybe it's going to be a little bit more difficult in a team that's probably going to struggle a bit. But
where do you like him playing?
Like he's 193.
Comes from a very good family.
Yeah, I think still around halfback. I think is probably going to be his position. I might have been a little bit influenced by listening to Josh Gablich talk about this kid and others, but Riley Sanders, he's trimmed, I think 7. At this stage, he's lost 7 kilos. By the time the season starts, it may be up to around 13 or 14 kilos that he's shed.
He's on the keto diet.
He's just shedding. He's like our pug Pearl. He's just shedding.
So far you've got Tom Brown
and Riley Sanders.
Not Tom Brown.
No, not that Tom Brown. I've got and good morning to you, Tom, if you're listening up there in Steak and Kidney, and Riley Sanders, who just. You know, and I like these guys who have this insatiable appetite for the game too.
Well, you haven't. Really.
You know who he's living with, don't you?
Bond.
Trelaw, that's who he's living with.
Oh, is he?
Ads, yeah, he's living with him. So he's and I like a kid who's a balanced player. You know what I mean by a balanced player?
Well, they don't fall over.
No. He weighs all his food. That's what I mean by a well-balanced player.
Righto.
And Dick Tracy, I got him as well.
Hang on, you can't just keep. He's mine, by the way.
No. Well, we can both have the same guy. Yes, we can.
No, you're not having Dick Tracy.
Well, just because you went over there.
Yes, I did.
You spent 2 minutes talking to him about how to play as a key forward.
Anyway, he nearly broke. He's already almost broken out.
But that's true, but I think there's more to go.
I think he could be the best key forward in the game. We said that. Okay, we can both. You can have him.
We've both got him. Okay, give me a couple of yours.
I have got. Where am I? I've lost them. Oh, I got Nate Caddy.
Yep.
I think there's something really special about that kid. I know it's not breaking news, but I just love the way he handles himself, confidence. You got to have it. You can have the ability to play in that position, but then you got to have a self-belief and a swagger and a knowledge or an expectation of yourself that you are going to impact every contest. And he looks to me like he goes into every contest thinking, I'll win this.
Yeah, he's a monster too.
I like him.
He is a monster.
I like him. I think he could be breaking out big time.
I hope you're right.
Yep.
You got another one?
Have I got another one? Yep. Kelsha Deer.
Yep. I saw him on the news last night, actually.
I really liked him. And he went under the radar a little bit. But
he's a jumper, isn't he?
Every time he played, he just kept getting to the footy and kept getting, coming from nowhere. Now,
if you don't mind me saying, I think you might be a year too early on him. But
anyway, a year too early?
A year too early, yeah.
What was that, Brooke?
And
3 in a final against the Dogs. Thank you, Brooke.
Have you got another one?
Yep, I have got another one. George Wardlaw.
Well, he's got some troubles at the moment.
I know he
Georgie.
has, and this is a vote of confidence for George, who will be listening. He loves the show, George.
Does he?
Loves it, never misses. And he's probably right now thinking that footy's against him and the soft tissue injuries and all that stuff are getting him down. He'll get his body right at some stage. I think he's just going to be so special.
Yeah. He's a Matty Rao type for me.
I love George Wardlaw. So there's my 5. You've got 2 more to go.
I got 2 to go. I thought this player, I thought he should have won the best first-year player last year.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to be a star of the competition. Bodie Ulan, the Gold Coast Suns.
You're going again.
What do you mean I'm going again?
You had him last year in this segment.
No, I didn't. I don't think I did. Not last year. And Jed Walters. I know they're 2 Gold Coast Suns players.
They're your next 2.
They're my next 2. I watched, because he had such a big rap on him last year, Jed Walters, and I watched him really closely it was almost like he was just a tick below where he needed to be.
Jed Walters?
Yeah, Jed Walters I'm talking
Dermot
about.
made a very good point about him last night, if you don't mind me saying.
No, I don't mind you saying What did the ornithologist have to say?
This is supporting you.
Yeah.
He said this to Dimmer. He said this is a bloke who works so hard for every possession. Like he almost overworks himself into the ground. So he's just got to learn to be a bit smarter and run smarter and all that sort of stuff. But got a willingness.
He wants to compete.
He wants to compete.
He does. I think, and there's a lot to. If you are a Gold Coast Suns fan, there is a lot to get excited about with that swathe of young players that they got coming through.
Tim and I just had a very heated argument in the ad break. We like to keep you involved in all of this, and it got fiery. And that is, do you take much notice of what's going on in the pre-season or the practice matches? I take none. I don't think there's anything because I think competing against your peers is like dancing with your sister.
Right. Okay.
It's not going to lead anywhere with
I disagree. I think there are players who take enormous leaps and bounds in the off season because of a change of attitude and conditioning, whatever it might be. And you will see them come back in a different frame of mind and physically different than what they were the previous year.
That is true. I don't disagree with that.
And then when you look at that and you add that to their playing ability, that's when you can make a judgment about where you think they're going to advance to.
No, all that is true. You can make advances, but none of it is worth a pinch of you know what until they do it against opposition.
No, that is true.
That's all I say. So when I saw a headline saying, when I got back from overseas, one of the first headlines, it was, I wrote it down, a warning shot. Someone fires a warning shot, and I'm thinking, hang on. It was an intra-club practice match where some plonker getting pushed to the back half, and because he got 48 kicks, he's fired a warning. There are no warning shots in intra-club pre-season. Right. They are just firing blanks.
Right, okay.
Because no player, Wisp, feels more comfortable than playing against their mates in an intra-club. There are players who, in fact, if we were brave enough, and maybe you could put together the greatest intra-club football team of the century, right? And you go, what? And then you put it out there and you go, what is that? And you go, these are blokes who are who no one plays better against their mates than these guys. Yet when they go against opposition,
Are you prepared to bet against Riley Sanders being a super
I'm not talking about Riley.
I am talking about him and the fact that I have listened to people talk about him, the way that he's gone about intra-club practices, the way that all that sort of stuff.
People will think that I'm making
how sharp he looks
to him. Oh, that wasn't based in him, but I'm happy to say that's good. I'm glad for he's a young kid, so I give young kids more time, and I hope that translates. I was talking about I was talking about Dylan Shield, who's a nice, really nice bloke, good fella. And he went to halfback and had 40,000 kicks, and all of a sudden it's good. That's all good and well playing against the Bombers out of the hangar.
Okay. But it's a great sign if he can go back. If he can give Essendon their back six something that they haven't had, which is speed and power, and a left foot kicker who obviously makes a difference coming off halfback, then that is a great thing for them.
I hope it is.
I do. Hey, just on Luka Doncic, and we know that was probably one of the biggest surprise stories in world sport in a long time, him and his move to the Lakers. And we've just been watching him up on the screen. This is the game that he played yesterday. And we both made the same point about his physical conditioning and the way he looks. Do you think there's certain players, and we shouldn't take any notice of the way they look physically?
What do you think?
No, he looks out of condition. Everyone talks about this over there in the States. Like, he looks like he's out of condition. They talk about that, about his conditioning, all that type of thing. But at the same time, he's still probably in the top 3 players in the NBA. Do we worry too much about that sometimes when we're evaluating somebody?
Our great listenings and learnings over the summer, listening to podcasts, you can get away with things, Wisp, while you're in your teens and your early 20s. And then there will come a tipping point where you won't be able to get away with it. And if I can put Jeremy McGovern up there.
Jeremy McGovern, yeah.
As Exhibit A.
He's beyond 30.
But for a long time he got away with looking perhaps not as athletic
as you can say it. He looked fat and out of condition. You can say it.
This is unencumbered Wisp. But then as age got an injury started, he got injuries. So what's Jeremy McGovern done? Shred.
Right.
So Luka, I don't know Luka I don't know anything about basketball, but he will play like that and play really well while he's 25 and still get away with it, but not for much longer. New Tasmanian team, let's marry up his job description with someone capable of fulfilling that role. So he's got to be a bit of an evangelist. He's got to be a salesman, I think. That's what I'm hearing in that. You've got to be prepared to go out and sell. You've got to be a great people person. You've got to be prepared to communicate and communicate effectively, and you've got to have a passion for footy. Who is that person? He mentioned Neil Danaher. Brooke mentioned at his prime, Mark Choco Williams. That
would have been a fit at that time.
That would have been a great fit.
It would have been great. And Kevin Sheedy,
he's
football
the ultimate.
Yeah, experience, track record, all that type of thing. Well, actually, somebody just sent a text message in to say that Fireball did this as well. So we're going to have to come up with some fresh stuff, clearly.
Well, they didn't interview Brendan Gale, did they?
Well, apparently they did. Fireball did, I think. Well, he heard it somewhere.
No,
he's left nothing for us.
No, they didn't.
We might as well go home.
They didn't interview Brendan.
Are you sure about that?
That's what our man says.
Well, who do you think it is? Give me a name.
Fagan, I think of straight away. I think of Fagan.
I don't think of him at all because I think we're talking about, another 2 years down the track, maybe 3 years down the track, energy. I think...
don't underestimate Fags.
No,
He's been underestimated all his life.
No, I love him. He's done an amazing job. It's extraordinary where he came from and what he's been able to accomplish and achieve. But I think you'll need somebody that has, like a great energy and thirst for that type of coaching because it's beyond what the normal coach will be required to do.
You don't think that's Fags?
No, I don't. I personally don't. I don't.
Who you got?
What do you think?
Yeah, you asked me. I put him up.
Okay. But no, in what I had to say, do you think there's any validity to that?
No, of course I do. Of course I do. But I also think that his heritage adds a whole nother layer to it as well.
And understanding
no
Tasmania.
more revered or loved figure right now in footy than Chris Fagan did.
Okay, so the first two things that he said was experience and a track record. I would think, so track record to me, immediately I think somebody that's been a premiership coach or a team builder, like a great team builder, and somebody that's had experience, so somebody who obviously has been around the mark for a while as well.
Horse?
No, I don't, because I think he got worn out by the job.
It's just how quickly he can rejuvenate.
Yeah, but the emotional toll this game takes on people, I think it's going to be hard for him to step back in and coach down the track.
That's a good point. This will be a different type of emotional toll, though. There's no expectations of a premiership for the first coach of Tasmania.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So you go in with a different mindset. You go in accepting that it's going to be hard work. It's going to be a challenge. You accept the primary levels or measurements and markers of success won't ultimately be wins and losses in the initial term. So that takes the pressure off to a degree in terms of the win-loss.